Today we've amassed a collection of Master Replicas items from the early 2000s, about 2002 or 2003 for the earliest, to about 2007 or 2008 for the latest. These are about 15 to 20 years old. We've got 29 pieces we're going to look at with an estimated retail value of about $75,000. You can kind of see the nice spread here from the AT-AT to a bunch of lightsabers and blaster to a couple dozen helmets in the back. So we're going to get started with a close-up here of the AT-AT. The AT-AT is from Empire Strikes Back. It is limited to, let's take a look at the plaque here. It is limited to 1,000 pieces, and the retail value on this is about $8,000. Now note, most of these items are going to come with a very nice museum quality acrylic display case. Also, most items will also have their original shipper, which would have come from Master Replicas. It's nice to store them in if you don't have them on display and or for shipping purposes. All right, so the AT-AT is a really cool piece. Next up is the Medal of Yavin from Episode 4. It's limited to 1,500 pieces, and retail value on this is about $600 to $700. We'll take it up here and just take a peek at the back side. Not a whole lot there. I'm going to put on, it's a fairly heavy metal. It weighs about probably 2 pounds, which feels heavier than most metals that you'd put on. All right, so a nice piece here. Next is the Emperor Palpatine cane from Episode 6. It includes not only the cane, but also the clasp. And let's take a look here. The limited edition is $1,500, and the value on this is about $2,500. So we can see it's about standard height of a cane. Okay. All right, next to this is a Darth Vader lightsaber. And let's take a look at the details of this. So this is an Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back, limited to 2,500 pieces, and value on this is about $3,000. We won't take a look at all of these, but just to show, for example, these are going to come also with what's called it says official prop replicas on it, and it's going to include a certificate of authenticity and some information about the item. Okay. All right, continuing here, we've got a Darth Vader helmet from Revenge of the Sith, limited edition and very cool piece. The value on this is about $3,000. We aren't going to put this one on, but we'll see if we can lift this off and just take a look. Let's come around to the back side of the helmet. You actually strap this on as a costume piece here. You can see this actually is intended to be worn. So you could wear it to a party or something, and it would look incredibly impressive compared to the cheaper Halloween helmets, although you would put it at risk of possibly scratching or damaging it, but quite a piece and actually able to be worn. All right, next what we've got here is the very cool looking Count Dooku lightsaber. Let's back up a little bit and just kind of look at the, yeah, you kind of see like the hooked sharp edge of the lightsaber, just a neat angled lightsaber, truly unique. Limited to 3,500 and about an $1,800 piece. So that's always been a popular one just because it's so different from the other lightsabers. Another Emperor cane and Medal of Yavin, which are really just duplicates of what we've just looked at. Next, we're going to start looking at some lightsabers. So next up, we've got a Luke Skywalker from Episode 4. Notice, of course, that this one is autographed by Mark Hamill. It's a signature edition, limited to $750, and value on this one is about $5,000. We're going to take a little closer look at some of the details of the lightsaber. Okay, you see it's got each of the lightsabers are going to have the, basically clip to your belt. Okay. All right, next up we've got the Episode 1 Darth Maul lightsaber. This one is limited to 3,000 pieces and is valued at about $2,000. Take a good close-up look at this from kind of all angles. Okay. All right, next to this one, what we've got is a Darth Sidious from Episode 3. And this one is a little shorter than most of the other lightsabers. This one is valued at about $2,000. Let's take a close look at that one. Kind of got kind of the neat ripple effect here, very shiny. All right. Moving on to Luke Skywalker Episode 4, and this is the Elite Edition. It's limited to 1,000, and this is actually an artist proof edition, which is limited to 30. And so this is valued at about $2,000. All right. Next up here is an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this one is from the Phantom Menace. It's an Elite Edition, limited to 1,250. Value on this is about $2,500. Let's take a good close-up look at the detail of the lightsaber here. All right, after that is a Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker version 2. Now note, this one looks worn or battle damaged. And so this is what's known as the version 2. And it also happens to be signed by Mark Hamill, limited to 500 pieces. This one is valued at about $3,000. This is a pretty cool piece, kind of unique in the battle damage aspect. And of course, limited to 500 is very limited. You gotta love the signatures. That really feels like a good value on that one. Next up is the Stormtrooper Episode 4. This one is limited to 3,500 pieces. Value is about $2,000 to $3,000. We're gonna go ahead and take this one carefully out of the case. All right. Take a look at the scope. All right, and we'll put that back and move on to the next Episode 1 Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber. This one is limited to 2,500 pieces and is valued at about $1,500. Notice the unique ribbing on this lightsaber, kind of sleek. Let's get that from an angle here. You can kind of see the ribs really standing out there. Very different from most other lightsabers. All right, and on this end, we've got another Darth Vader. This one is Return of the Jedi, and signed by David Pross, limited to 500 units. This is another pretty neat one. All right. This one's valued at about $4,000. And now we're to the helmets. So the first one is a Episode 3, 212th Attack Battalion Trooper helmet, valued at about $1,200. Let's take a look at the stands that these helmets come on. And then we'll take a look at the back side of the helmet and then the inside. You can see that it's a relatively professional and smooth, soft inner surface. These helmets can be put on and worn. You probably can't hear me quite as well with the helmet on, but it is primarily meant for display. These really can be worn and or could be parts of costumes. All right, next up we've got a twin pair of Shadow Stormtrooper helmets, limited to only 500 units each, and value on these about $200 each. Just a super neat jet black, kind of cool looking helmets, and also very limited on those. Next to them, we've got a pair of Boba Fett helmets. So we've got the blaster damage from what appears to be from Cad Bane. Kind of a neat piece here. We'll show the inside of this as well. And then I'll put this one on. He's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? So you can try out the different Boba Fett lines from the movie with the helmet on. See if you can master that a little better than me. Here we've got an Episode 3 Imperial Shock Trooper helmet. This is limited to only $750, and value on this is about $1,500. Kind of a neat contrast with the red to some bright red to some of his other colors. Here we've got an Episode 3 501st Legion Trooper helmet, limited to $750, and value about $1,200. Next to that is a Stormtrooper, of course, kind of everybody's iconic favorite from Episode 4. limited to 2,500 units, and $2,500, kind of a must-have if you're going to have one trooper helmet. Episode 3, Clone Commander Gree. This one is limited to 500, and it's $2,500. So I really like this one. It's a very limited edition piece. That 500 is really going to help ensure that the value continues to climb. The green, it reminds me, it's just very metallic. I'm going to put it on here. Almost like skiing goggles, just very, very metallic and reflective, just super neat. That one stands out compared even to some of the other ones, and they're all cool. The next one is an episode 3 Clone Trooper helmet, limited to 2,500 and about $1,200. And we got a couple more variants here. An episode 3 Special Ops Trooper helmet, very similar to the 501st Legion. Note this one is clean, hasn't been battle damaged yet, versus the one over here. Fairly similar, but does have kind of that battle damaged look to it. This one is limited to 750, also a value of about 1,200. And finally, we've got a 327 Star Corps Trooper helmet, limited edition, and also about $1,200 or so. All right, so this is the collection that we wanted to share with you today. It's about 29 pieces total, retail value around $70,000 to $75,000. Truly an inspiration. It may be difficult to amass this many without a major investment, obviously. Just want to talk a little bit about the investment value for a moment. Most of these items, all of these items have gone up in value significantly since they were first released. To give us an idea, I think that at original retail value was around $1,000. Most of the lightsabers were around $350 to maybe as much as $500 or $600 for the autograph versions, and they've typically climbed from that $350 range to $1,500 to $3,000, and the autograph versions have probably roughly climbed from $500 to maybe $3,000 or $4,000. So certainly have climbed a lot over the 15 or 20 years. It's hard to imagine these not holding their value and continuing to climb over coming years and decades, especially given the low production numbers of 500, 1,500, 2,500, etc. Just certainly pieces you can enjoy on your, in your collection, on your mantle, in your office, etc. So just high quality, nice pieces. I've always loved them. So that's that, but just a great collection that we wanted to share with you today. As a reminder, we're always buying toy collections, and if you have a collection or know somebody who has a collection who might be interested in a price quote on some of the items or perhaps an entire collection, please get in contact with us. We'd love to get you a quote. You can download our mobile app, Sell My Toys. You also can contact us directly by email, buying, B-U-Y-I-N-G, @brianstoys.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for sharing this time with us to review our Master Replicas collection. Also, don't forget to hit that follow button and just keep watching for more videos.